Hello and welcome to ACAC Park, the game between Chicago Tigers and St. Louis Americans. Right away in swinger, Abhimanyu Lamba gets into business. News from the center, Chicago Tigers winning toss and electing to bat first. Couple of changes in the squad. Looks like the skipper, Justin Dill, will be missing on today. In comes Satvik Kailash for him. Also for St. Louis Americans should be a change, whereas Munir Kakar missing, making place for Joshua Kine, Sami Sohail, and Mitansh Nityananda, the opening pair for Chicago Tigers. Two games remaining in the league stage. This is their seventh game. Abhimanyu Lamba was in blazing form against Chicago Kingsmen. Has been a tough week for St. Louis Americans, facing Chicago Kingsmen back to back. Games going down to the wire. Till the very end, the St. Louis American team would have thought they might turn the tide in their favor, but Kingsmen having different plans. And has been a tremendous bowling effort from the captain. The very first game against Chicago Kingsmen, picking up 4 wickets, dismantling the top order of the Kingsmen, which was not an easy task for Captain Abhimanyu Lamba, who blew in the faith for the fielders and the bowlers of St. Louis Americans, who put in the idea thinking that they might have a comeback, especially after the hat trick that he took. Right away, and onto the pads of all smiles, Sami Sohail loses his bat. Has been a good find, Sami Sohail. Last year, we've seen Nityanandam play for Tigers. Top order is gelling well. The question has been the middle order for the Tigers from last year. And for the bowling, it has been their spearheading bowler who would penetrate through the batting of opposition. Not having Justin Dill his experience today. We apologize for any delays. The feed's interrupted. We are working to resolve. We will be live with you shortly. The feed is interrupted and we are working to resolve it. Please stay tuned. And with that, for you who have missed what has happened in the interruption, wicket fell straight away. Abhimanyu Lamba He gets in the wicket. He draws the first blood out of Tigers, and that's Nityanandam who departs. Brings on Shivshani to the crease. Picked away off his hips. Right hand, left hand combination for Tigers. Gets on Shani. And so immaculate, Abhimanyu Lamba, with his line, length, the precise line and length he bowls with, makes it effortless. And especially his wrist position that he puts in for the ball to use the seam of the wicket, the movement, the seam movement that he gets. And you could see minutes before, or seconds before to be precise, before the wicket of Nityanandam, how he was just trying to take that shot across the line, the seam coming into him, got the wicket of Nityanandam.
With insurance plans, one size does not fit all. Your coverage might not be enough, or there might be gaps you didn't know about. At Bima, we build a plan from the best options available for you, for your home, your car, your health, and everything else. At Bima, we believe better insurance means assurance.
One over done. Chicago Tigers, after losing a wicket, they scored 2 runs. Nasir Jamali, who will bowl to Shivshani, the southpaw, scored 38 runs in the previous game against Michigan Stars. Still keeping a slip to operate with. You got a feel for the St. Louis Americans when you look at the games, and it was a thriller for our audience. Inside edge stays in the crease. It's been a tough walk the previous week, getting into this week, especially one game, Abhimanyu Lamba missing out for the Americans as a captain. The second game that they were playing against the Chicago Kingsmen. You'd say that the very first game, when we reflect back, on the up, plays it nicely, sloppy field. As a result, will get off the strike. Scored 130 runs, 30 odd runs for the very first game, St. Louis Americans, when batting. And when the batting of Kingsmen came, they are very formidable, a deep batting unit. And it was Abhimanyu Lamba who says, I'll get the job done. And it was the captain who was in charge, who was bearing the flag of St. Louis Americans, picking up that hat trick, 4 wickets. First one gets rid of Ramiz Raja. And then it was Sadali to complete the hat trick. Then Tejinder Singh. Until the very last over, when you see that, until Ziaul Haq came in, landed some punches to the bowling. Now gets the thick edge, flies away, not where he intended. Until the very last over for St. Louis Americans, they needed 10 runs, 10, 11 runs to play to win. And then suddenly Hamad Azam, who sticks there, gets the job done, takes Chicago Kingsmen across the line. And you got to feel in the very second game when they were batting, requiring 7 runs of 6 balls in the last over. looking to find the rhythm. Shivshani getting another season with the Chicago Tigers. Has been a little extra part that they've conceded in the very first game for St. Louis Americans that made the difference was the extras that were conceded by the bowling team. That's something that's always in your control. Teasing. Teasing to the left hander. Gets the seam off the surface, ends the over.
At US Wide Financial, we know how hard it is to navigate the mortgage process. Don't get lost down the rabbit hole of pressure sales, burdensome paperwork, and hidden fees. US Wide. No surprises, no tricks, no need to call. Check out our rates online at uswidefinancial.com.
For those of you who've joined us, Chicago Tigers have won the toss and elected to bat first. We've got a change, a new name coming in, Sathwik Kailash for Justin Dill. And I presume that the captaincy for the game has been given to Chirag Gandhi. Flicks away in fashion. Sami Sohail, as regular he does. What a stylish shot that is. Comes down a little off his crease and then just flicks it off. Very stylish, very fashionable to watch him play. And that is exactly that would have reminded him of the wicket of his fellow mate who opens the batting with him, Nityananda, who tried playing across the line to Abhimanyu Lamba, ended up giving his wicket. Fine work from Sami Sohail off his wrists, playing that one into the leg side. And the wicket of Nityanandam has been a question to me because that's when he has been a little troubled by spinners this season, especially when he rocks back to the back foot and then tries playing short. For those of you who've watched the last game again, he played against Michigan Stars. That's the way. That's been one of the areas for him when his eyes light up seeing back of the length ball, trying to send it to the boundary. But now Abhimanyu Lamba, his experience coming in handy back of the length, where that's where he's trying to channel in Nityanandam anything because he pulls so well. The factor that you'll have to consider with Abhimanyu's bowling is the seam movement that he gets. And the key here is his wrist presentation. Pulls up with the nice and gives a flick. It's like that, but better, not better. What a catch that is. A stellar effort. Gives a look to dugout. And remarkable take. Talking about the wrist, just look at that. Gets bottom of the bat, no timing in it, and sliding effort completes a good one. What an effort. Early 2 wickets going off for Chicago Tigers, and it is Shivshani who displayed few shots last game, departs after facing 7 balls, scoring 4 runs. That brings on the new batter to replace Shivshani. Very intelligent Abhimanyu with his bowling. Was trying to give that room to him to enforce him to play that shot, and it's Chirag Gandhi, jersey number 18. It'll be right-hander and right-hander. against Michigan Cricket Stars last game had a different approach, much better, an aggressive take for Chirag Gandhi. The challenge will be the climb of the ball, Abhimanyu, that he releases in the very first game. The Tigers that were playing against Lone Star Athletics, we could see against Arinath Karni how he perished, trying to slap that away from short covers, getting no time, no power. It's going to be a bit of challenge for Chirag Gandhi. Probably this game is something that he would like to get started, contribute to the team, chips up and away. Gets away. Should be a boundary. Yes, it is. Trickles into the fence. Gets 4 runs. Was a bit of more check shot. Was there. Wafted in air away from that mid-off fielder. And then gets 4 runs. Going down the leg. Might have to bowl that one again. And yes, the umpire calls it as a wide. Officiating the game today, Ajay Lal and Srinivas Chira. And he's one of those bowlers, Abhimanyu, that he rectifies his line and length immediately when he sees something not working. Very quick to assess. And as a bowler, you need to have that in you when you see that stock ball when it's not working. Sharp bounce. That's a sharp bounce to Sami Sohail. A little teaser of Abhimanyu, what he does. And when we talk about his run up, he's very smooth, compact when he runs in. Not usually uses his shoulder when he bowls. Bit of more wrist work. Then he flicks that seam landing, gets the half job done, keeps his energy preserved. Abhimanyu. Next set, a soft dismissal. Beg your pardon.
Hi, we're Clear. We're making the home loan process easier and more transparent. At Clear.loans, you can learn as you go. Build your own personalized quote, compare options, and instantly see all the costs. No hidden fees, no surprises. Experience it for yourself at Clear.loans.
3 overs done, 17 for 2. Beg your pardon, where I thought that that ball would have been a wicket, that movement of the pitch, and it's hard for us to predict. I can only imagine what it would be for the batters to face Abhimanyu Lamba. And it is Mohammad Ilyas who will get the ball in hand. That seam movement at the very end of the over, you could see from Sami Sohail, he hinting that how much the ball moved laterally, and that hinted that he might have edged it. And if you're getting that movement, if you're making the ball talk, it's going to get troublesome for any batter. Starts with a half tracker. A chance for Ilyas today when he was bowling against Kingsman, he's been slightly on the expensive side. operating with slip, but that'll be a wide. They've got 2 wickets in the power play. The approach here from the batters of Tigers should remain positive. It's the early stages of the game. Yes, they might have lost 2 wickets. Got to remember that the very first wicket that opened the gates is Nityanand Namzera, who tried playing against the line. And then the second one, where Shiv Shani played it completely, falling a bait to Abhimanyu's bowling. Has played 12 games and then collected. Tries to cut 17 wickets. Can bat 2. His economy with 6.98. That's where they'd want, with a younger side, him to improve his economy and then pick some wickets too. Because 2 games that remain, this is the first and the second one. Tomorrow that'll be played between Tigers and the Americans. If you look at the points table, it is very interesting because Tigers sitting at the 5th position. They've played 6 games. They've won 2, lost 3, and that a draw which was abandoned. On the other hand, Americans on the bottom of the table sinking. They'll want that win mark on their name in the final 2 games at least to have a promising end for the league stage until they return back next year. Something that will be very common between these two sides is the 2 games that the St. Louis Americans could think they could have won easily, especially from a standpoint of the first game against Kingsmen when they required. Close, very close. He's appealing and begging. Umpire, unmoved, goes down on a knee. And keeper immediately hinting might have been the question with height. When I say that 10 runs which were needed in the last game, and when you lose 8 wickets and your bowler comes in from Kingsman, Ziaul Haq, putting a couple of balls away, gets those sixes, puts the pressure on. You think as a team, how and where have we lost the game? Especially when the bowler comes in to hit you, that stings. Looks like he's found the gap, drilled into the mid wicket region. Will get 2 runs. Chirag Gandhi. Four overs done, 22 for 2.
With insurance plans, one size does not fit all. Your coverage might not be enough, or there might be gaps you didn't know about. At Bima, we build a plan from the best options available for you, for your home, your car, your health, and everything else. At Bima, we believe better insurance means assurance.
In the last over, when I told you there's something common between the 2 teams, the St. Louis Americans, an excellent change of pace from Nasser Jamali. First over, conceding only 4 runs. That is, if St. Louis Americans have 2 games that they could have thought a little better bowling control and holding our nerves, we could have got those 2 games. For Tigers, that'll be the game between Lone Star Athletics. If you look at the points table for the Central region, you've got Kings 11 Dallas sitting at the very top. 8 games they've played, they're done. It's Metroplex Traces. They've got a game remaining. They are at 8 as well. If they get to that mark of winning the very last game, that'll be a tie and it'll be the run rate decider. For Chicago Kingsmen, they've got 2 more games. So that'll take them to 12 runs and they might be able to top that table. It's like last year. And a good throw. But now when we slide down to number 5, number 4 is taken by Dallas X4U Giants. Chicago Tigers, they are at 5. And if you consider they have won that last game against Lone Star Athletics, they could be here at 7. And if they could win, they would think that if we are able to win this against the St. Louis Americans back to back games, it's definitely not going to be easy, but they would have predicted this, forecasted this. This would have gave them 11 runs, 11 points. Nicely carved. Almost getting them that top 3 position on that central points table in the standings. At least not one, second, and third berth would have been confirmed for the Tigers. It's not that they haven't managed to put on runs. So far, 812 runs that they've put on against opposition. What makes it worst is the amount of runs they've got against as well. On their bowling, gives a little shimmy, goes down, and it does look like a beautiful shot played straight down the ground for 4 runs. It's Sami Sohail was a bit little away from him, away from his body, but did well to connect that one. He's in the top 5 leading run scorers in the central table. For the best batting, his best figure scored 72 runs. Short ball, that has been his bread and butter. Glorious there from Chirag Gandhi. First one, a boundary, and then 6 runs to end the over. 5 overs done, 34 for 2.
At US Wide Financial, we know how hard it is to navigate the mortgage process. Don't get lost down the rabbit hole of pressure sales, burdensome paperwork, and hidden fees. US Wide. No surprises, no tricks, no need to call. Check out our rates online at uswidefinancial.com.
Much better there. First one a boundary, and then to collect a 6 of Jamali's bowling. Just look at that. The position that he gets into was exactly in the length of his eyes. No second thoughts pulling that away. Trying to rebuild Tigers from here. Should give a bit of confidence to Sami Sohail and Chirag Gandhi after that 2 boundaries. The last over from Nasir Jamali. And this has been a bit of question. The iota of doubt that's been put in the hearts of Tigers batters is that is our middle order reliable? The young, they've got skill, they've got talent. It's just the bit of experience that is needed in middle order that is faltering the innings. They've managed to score over 160 as well, big runs piled on. Is there a bit of approach that you calculate, you predict how much is needed, how much are you looking to score against who as a bowler? Quick at this time, back of the length, batter confused. Muhammad Ilyas can bowl quick, and it's just that using the channel, right channel, when he bowls on those quicker ones. So far, the highest scores for Sohail has been 54, 72, and 48. 48 and 72 coming against the Michigan Stars. Was a bit of confusion there. Would have been a wicket. Is something that the St. Louis Americans have been looking for. Two wickets from Abhimanyu's bowling. What has been the takeaway for us has been the consistency, the channel, the line, and the length that he is been operating with. A bouncer. And the umpire calls it as a first bouncer. Can we get rid of tease to Sami Sohail here, who's batting on 8 of 15? A ball remains before Elias concludes this over. And this man on your screen, the wicketkeeper for St. Louis Americans, Arya Kananta. He's been some. He's been playing some exquisite shots. Last game against Kingsman couldn't perform to his full potential. Plays that, drills that with power. Was a half volley. Was there to be hit, and just shuffling a bit, full there. Just flexes his wrist there into the extra covers and covers region.
Hi, we're Clear. We're making the home loan process easier and more transparent. At Clear.loans, you can learn as you go. Build your own personalized quote, compare options, and instantly see all the costs. No hidden fees, no surprises. Experience it for yourself at Clear.loans.
$38 for 2, and Chirag Gandhi making sure the Tigers put on a total to win their last two games in the league stage. Going at 6.33 and over. the very first phase of the power play, something the Tigers, Chirag, and Sohail would have thought upon is how would they manage to rotate the strike, because Chirag's trying to get those boundaries to fully utilize the over's potential, where after scoring a boundary is some singles and doubles is what they want the scoreboard to be taking with. Very active is the captain Abhimanyu Lamba. Chirag due for a big innings here. It's been a bit quiet this season, 2025 minor league for Chicago Tigers. Especially you do not have when you not have your experienced player, Justin Dill. That's one big spot and shoes to fill in. And as he's not here, they've got in Satvik Kailash. That sees me creates room for Karthik Gattepalli to come earlier than expected, slashed away. Fumbling, but saves the boundary. Should be 2 runs at least. Wait for the confirmation. Yes, it is 2 runs. That makes room for Karthik Gattepalli, who's very much capable to connect the ball, clear the rope. Moves down. Smart change of pace by the bowler. Seeing the batter come down. Nice adjustment. "42 runs. Played it softly. Should be able to get one. And that'll be the end of 7th over, 43 for 2.
With insurance plans, one size does not fit all. Your coverage might not be enough, or there might be gaps you didn't know about. At Bima, we build a plan from the best options available for you, for your home, your car, your health, and everything else. At Bima, we believe better insurance means assurance.
At US Wide Financial, we know how hard it is to navigate the mortgage process. Don't get lost down the rabbit hole of pressure sales, burdensome paperwork, and hidden fees. US Wide. No surprises, no tricks, no need to call. Check out our rates online at uswidefinancial.com.
And the St. Louis Americans will take their drinks break. 7 overs, 43 for 2. We'll continue with the live action shortly. back after drinks break. Has been interesting additions this season for the St. Louis Americans, especially with adding Saif Badr and Usman Rafiq, who played for Houston Hurricanes last year. It's got a big name, Saif Badr in MLC, who plays for Los Angeles Knight Riders. For used to bowl the medium pace, now has changed it to be the leg spinner. Depends on the day how he uses his different skill set. At times, bowling medium pace when the team needs. Last year in Houston Hurricanes, I know why he was bowling medium pace. Cuts away. We'll get Chirag Gandhi back on the strike. Last game against Michigan Cricket Stars, he had a good strike rate, was striking at 200 above, 214 to be precise. Got 15 runs in 7 balls, 3 boundaries he scored, but later perished to spin when he tried playing that ramp shot. Sweeps it, and that'll be a boundary. For an instance, we would have thought that there is a fielder, but his presence of mind has helped him fetch a boundary. Superb here, superb execution from Chirag Gandhi. If there's no timing on that shot, could have been a wicket there for St. Louis Americans. And the intentions are very clear from Chirag, just to make sure the St. Louis Americans are thrown off their balance. Need to get those boundaries coming. Adjusted, was premeditated to take the bowler into the leg side. Seeing him change his line and length, and dabs it for a one. 6 runs coming so far, and 4 balls of Saif Badr. Has been a very sporadic effort from the other bowlers, apart from Abhimanyu Lamba, to get those timely wickets from the past games that you see. Sky up, keeper running, and that's an over shot. A terrible way to get out. He was looking in so fine form here, Chirag Gandhi. Let's look at it. He played completely over that, tried to overhit it, moving across, creating some space, but in the end gets the top edge and the keeper does the rest. You got a feel for Chirag Gandhi and Chicago Tigers when it seemed like he was being the aggressor, allowing some space for Sami Sohail to settle. That's when the wicket falls. Saif Badr gets the first wicket, 8 overs done, 50 on the loss of 3 wickets. It will be Khyber Khan Mohammad to replace Chirag Gandhi. Ability to hit some big shots, Khyber, that he possesses. He's played in some local leagues, in Canadian local leagues. It's got a name for him. 3 wickets down. When the Tigers felt that they were comfortable, that's wherein spin has been a bit of trouble. The last dismissal of Chirag Gandhi, even in the last game when he tried to play that sweep ramp, sweep and a ramp to the spinner against the Michigan cricket stars, he gets out at fine leg. I believe Saif Badr just changing that pace when he's bowling that half tracker has been the key role picking up last wicket of Gandhi. He's got some good scores. Two two scores against the Michigan Stars, that is 72 and 48, and then 54 against Metroplex Traces. Sami Sohail can play that aggressive knock when needed. In total, he has scored 11 sixes. That puts him on the fifth spot in the leading scoreboard of best batters in the Minor League Cricket 2025 Central Region. Nasir Jamali's last over. Want to get this wicket. Softly played. Should be looking to come back, but will be very happy with one after that soft stroke. Opens his account straight away. Khyber Mohammed. Fifth and sixth over is when the aggression of Gandhi, the Tigers would have thought, will be able to get to a total about 160. And there's a slip from Nasir Jamali. The batter would have thought there's an attempt to mankade, but he lost his balance. It's been a bit of tricky outfield at ACAC Park here. It's very dry, but you need to put on the power. If you're playing along the carpet for the ball to reach to the rope, can get slow at times. And that's where the batters are forced to play those aerial shots. And now when the scoring, when we were talking about the Tigers managing to score 112 combined as a team in this league. See movement, gets inside that white line. Lets it alone. Khyber Mohammed. The oppositions managed to score over 13 runs extra. To give a precise number, that is 826 that the oppositions managed to score against all the teams combined. The Tigers. It seems that the batting, they're able to put on the total. It's more about defending. When we go back to talk about the spearheading bowler, just until the season for the Tigers has been expensive. And talking about Justin Dill, gets jersey number 31 of Calvin Savage, who's missing the season from the Tigers. It is Khyber Mohammed who dons on the jersey number 31. End of the over, 9 done, 54 for 3. It's been the match summary so far in 9 overs. Chirag Gandhi been the highest run scorer, 25 runs in 19. and Abhimanyu Lamba bowled 2 overs, picked up 2 wickets, and Saif Badr with 1 wicket. Mohammad Ilyas to find a wicket on his name, and that will be the end of the overs today for Nasir Jamali. Four overs is bowled, no wickets on his name, but 25 runs. Doesn't seem happy, Saif Badr. Trying to make some changes here. Nicely giving flight to ensure Khyber clicks the bait just like Chirag Gandhi. He adjusted his line back of the length to him on the very last ball of the last over. Yes and a no. He hesitates. Khyber Mohammad after getting few steps out of his crease. Last thing that you'd want is having a run out here when you thought that they're able to rebuild nicely after those 2 early wickets in the power play. The leg spinner does the damage. Eight games is what each team gets to play in the league. And when you look at those 8 games here, you'll think there might be games for any teams, any regions, be it central, east, west, especially when you've been watching this central season this closely. The points table got very interesting when few games got rained out, those net run rates that'll come into question, especially with that tug of war between the Metroplex Tracers and the Kings 11 Dallas. 2 runs coming, seeming to be a decent over. Second over for Saif Badr. And will only be 2 runs. While he ends with a dot, 10 overs done, 56 for 3. We are halfway through the first innings. As you can see, the fall of wickets there on your screen with the very first over, the departure of Nityanandam. Then they thought that it would be Shiv Shani who would be giving some company. And the bumps you see on your screen, the worm chart that shows it was the start of the aggression from Chirag Gandhi. Not long, Saif Badr sends him back to the dugout. Ujjwal Venakota can be a handy bowler, can get you those odd wickets. And has played that remarkable stroke over the head of the fielder while he just sees that sailing it over. Shot from Sami Sohail. They've been so good here with the shot, the players, the batters of Chicago Tigers, and goes it straight to the facility, the net session that's been held by the others. Always a delight, especially when you're seeing the batter play that cover stroke and an eye-pleasing pull when you take the name of the greats, it was Ricky Ponting, who was known for his amazing pull stroke. And then Rohit Sharma, when you talk about the timing, the way he used to play, especially against a shot against Mitchell Johnson. One of the times, Surya Kumar Yadav talking about Rohit Sharma playing against Mitchell Johnson being in the setup. He thought it was very easy to play against Mitchell Johnson when he used to be in his prime, 2013 and 14. You see him, one of those Ashes series in Australia. His breathing fire, nicely bowled into the block hole. Need to have that timing to play that pull, that control, knowing where exactly your hand and eye coordination. And when we talk about hand and eye coordination, jersey number 17, the wicketkeeper of St. Louis Americans, Arya Kananta, he's been one of those batters where he's been supreme with the timing and the strokes that he plays. Turning out to be a good over for the Chicago Tigers. 9 runs coming so far of Vinakota's first over. Trills it down, and that'll be the end of 11th over with a single. 66 for 3. Out of 66 balls bowled, there have been only 23 singles scored by the Chicago Tigers. 23 runs only amassed in singles. And then if you look at fours, it was only 20 runs coming off fours. You can see the difference when you're unable to get the boundaries is something that they can do is rotate the strike more often. Sohail becomes so far to score the highest. It was Chirag Gandhi who scored 25 runs. Usman Rafiq. Yes and a no. That's a terrible, terrible way there. Could have been a chance here. This is just not happening for the Tigers. Absolute mess. Calls in Khyber Khan. Responds Sami Sohail to him, and he is stranded middle of nowhere. And you can see still Khyber Mohammad in question if he's to make it to the other end or remain at the batting crease. It's been a bit of difficult running between the wickets for these two batters. They'll have to coordinate. And for Usman Rafiq, has been one season with the St. Louis Americans that he's been on the expensive end. The wickets on the Houston Hurricanes team, when he's able to pick it, you'd expect him with the experience and the partnership breaking quality that he comes in. That was hit so firm, so hard, and his looks like his hold on to that one. There's a full toss, could have hit anywhere, right or the left of the fielder, and he decides, nope, I'm gonna give it to the fielder there. Bags an excellent catch given by Khyber Mohammad. Goes for 5 runs after facing 11 balls, 66 for 4. Here, tempestuous Chicago Tigers. Just look at it. Loops it, gives it full, could have hit anywhere, point slashing, but what a shot. Right to the fielder, taking him down with the power. Slightly either left or right, the ball could have gone to the boundary. Usman Rafi getting a wicket. They've got the experience as a side when they are coming against very young, comparatively young Tigers. This can be the game where they get that letter W for winning. They'll have to give credit to the fielder as well to hold on to the catch, not dropping it. When it's hit firmly, at times you try to take your hands away. This is what I think they've bought in Usman Rafiq this season. At times, when you even play best of the cricket too, even when you try to do anything right, it's just something that doesn't go the fortune when you can say. Maybe at times it's just the nerve, not fortune as well. It's the execution it comes down to. You may think that this is the best approach, and then you try to do it. Quick run taken, and the inability to condition yourself when the changes are needed, the adaptability of the environment at times does make you feel that we've been doing everything correct this season, and why aren't we able to get the points, those wins on the points table? And that is when you say for the bowling, especially the last two games, when as fans of St. Louis Americans, when they would be wondering what hasn't gone correct for St. Louis Americans, would be that extra bit of bowling effort when your captain's able to do. We'll continue this after the over. 12 overs done, 67 for 4. It is the wicketkeeper of the Tigers, Nikhil Modaliar. Much more quicker. It's the first season Khyber Mohammed playing with the Tigers. Bit of that miss, that grey spot of communication between the wickets. Looks like the captain's trying to convince Saif Badr. Is had a bit of conversation last over. Might be he's trying to convince the captain of the field setup that he needs. He's been rock solid, Sami Sohail, from the very first ball that is walked into the middle. Scored 28 runs. Was flying away from the fielder at the slip. When you see that rough ground, the rough patches, and very dry wicket, you'd expect the wicket to be turning. Quite young, Sami Sohail, but the communication of the very first ball played by Nikhil Mudaliar from Saif Badr. This goes on to talk saying how the ball's behaving. He's been there out in the middle. And if he's managing to hold on to his wickets, and there's a turn. Bit of turn there. And this is exactly when we're talking about Sami Sohail with Nikhil Mudaliar. If he's managing to hold on to the wicket, maybe it gives a bit of liberty to Sohail to play his shots freely. There hasn't been a full-fledged flow from both ends, from the striker and the non-striker, that they're getting boundaries, able to connect, able to get this strike on and off. Has been one heavy effort from Sohail, who's playing on 28. Moves across, using the width of the crease and sends it sweeping. That is a tantalizing stroke. Just look at that, the way he connects, moves away, exactly, way predictable. Saif Badr, what he was trying to do with Nikhil Mudaliar, gets him off the strike and he says, I'll help you combat Saif Badr's bowling. Need those, need those ferocious strokes and some boundaries coming the Tigers' way. They are batting at 6 and over. It will be a test to the batting of St. Louis Americans if they're managing to put on a total over 150. It's not an easy wicket to bat on. We've seen 140, 141 runs scored here at ACAC Park. It's only the bowler that he might have heard. There's a late reaction from the keeper. There's a turn there, a bit more cemented in the position where he is. Again, the attempt to sweep it ends with a dot. 9 runs coming off the 13th over. It's more about defining the roles as well when you are out batting. When you go visit the scorecards of the batting side, when Chicago Tigers are batting, as more seemingly who's doing what that stroke when you're there as Nikhil Mudaliar, who've just walked in, has to be a message relayed to you saying from the coach or the captain of the team, spend little time, give support what is needed to your fellow batter, and then if you're able to get that stroke making happen, then go ahead. If not, ones and twos shouldn't be hurting as a new batter, because that will also take some pressure off when you know that scoreboard is ticking. You have a little bit of space to breathe, to stretch your arms and legs. Now, when you have that space, as and when the wicket falls, it also gives you a better mental state that puts you in. That's a way. One bounce and to the fielder at long on. Because number one, you've assessed the pitch, you've spent time on the track, and for the new batter who comes in, you're able to provide that cushion as well. Yes, T20 is a fast paced game, but when you see more about T20, it always is incredible just to see one of the greats of the game, Kane Williamson. I remember one of his stint in the Indian Premier League franchise, Sunrisers Hyderabad, in 2018, when David Warner wasn't available, when he was captaining the side, and everyone had a question that, that explosiveness, that maneuvering the ball, how would Kane Williamson be able to play? And he was one of the highest run scorers winner of the Orange Cap, marched with the Sunrisers Hyderabad into the finals, losing against Chennai Super Kings. That's a complete different story. But as a player, in T20, we think a lot of reliability goes upon the boundaries, but it's a game. It's the notion that you set, that you understand your strengths, you just try to manipulate the field to your very best, get the maximum out of it. Now, the run rates slipped down to 5.71 and over. Is it long enough? Is it long enough? No power. There's a man, and will be an easy catch there from Nikhil Mudaliar. Just as we say that, no connection there. Usman Rafiq bowling deliberately away from the batter, where he could not connect it properly on this occasion, and the fielder on the boundary does the other half. It's hard 5 runs that he's made after facing 8 balls. And it would be Karthik Gattepalli who will be walking in to support Sami Sohail. First ball, he comes on to bat against Lone Star Athletics. He bangs on straight with a straight boundary, goes on one knee for a six in front of side screen. Has been one good league season for him, 2025 minor league cricket for Karthik Gattepalli. We'll join you shortly while the umpires and the players take a short drinks break, with a ball remaining to complete the 14th over. Karthik Gattepalli taking his mark. A bit surprised to see Karthik coming after the fall of fifth wicket. Might have been one of those games where they could have promoted him up the order, just to see. He's been impactful with the strokes he plays. He's got the strength, got the power, got that batting mind. Can clear that boundary, can fetch you runs. Before Nikhil Mudaliar, I think we'll continue after this over. 14 done, 78 for 5. As we were saying, Karthik coming ahead of Nikhil might have been layered with a bit of experience, where they could set up the innings, the tone of the innings. Now they'll have to reassess. Having 6 overs remaining, they'll have to think, what is an achievable total to them? What is something that they think of? 120 is something that they would want to get on, but is that what they want to set? So far from the bowling side, they've got only 4 runs and extras. That's the only help to the bowling team. did to Chicago Tigers at 5.57 an over, 36 balls to play. Will be the final over for Saif Badr today that he'll be bowling against the Tigers. He's got a wicket. I'm unsure if the question is for a wide because the umpire hasn't stretched his arms now. Yes, and there's a question about he's saying it's inside the line. Sky high. This one right there gets in. And Sami Sohail, his labor innings, is trying to sweep, goes to the fine leg fielder. An easy catch, despite sun beating on his face, got his shades on, takes a comfortable catch to send Sami Sohail off 35 after scoring 35 runs in 36 balls. The Tigers are crumbling here after losing 6 wickets. Should be Rahul Basu or Yash Patel, the regular who come in after 6 wickets. Mind you, Rahul Basu can also clear, can go for those big shots. We've seen against Lone Star Athletics that 120 that was scored. "35 balls that remain to finish the first innings." Like I said, it's more about reassessing what do we think at this point is achievable for us. Stroked away. Sent back Rahul Basu. Turn there. He's been troubled by that turn. Sharp spinner getting assistance of the wicket. And on the other end, Karthik would be seeing what's happening and he might be smiling, thinking what he can do. Shot. He's played that. No power in it, but seemed to be a good shot from Rahul Basu. Gives a bit of room for himself to play over extra covers. There are chances. Not happy. Saif Badr looks like it's a drop from the wicket keeper. Will go as a drop chance. And also will be a boundary for the Chicago Tigers. Let's take a look at the replay there. Bowls in, gets the turn. Keeper doing his regular glove work, thinking he's not happy. He's been quite animated today, Saif Badr, with few decisions, having a conversation with the umpire too, and then convincing his captain for the field set that he needed. 7 runs coming off, and 2 wickets for 4 overs for Saif Badr. 15 overs done, 85 for 6. You still have 2 overs of Abhimanyu Lamba. A bit perplexed because usually he comes in when the wickets are falling to get the cleanup done. There are 6 wickets down. More of the game that they might be looking to test and trial for the next season too, to see who are they more comfortable with, what skill set is what they want to do, because they are sitting at the final berth, the last berth in the points table of Central Division, and it's just not that they'd want to spoil the run rate, the points for the other team as Chicago Tigers. It's something that the St. Louis Americans would want to do, not give easy victory or just give away, knowing that they are at the final spot. Usman Rafiq's got 2 wickets today. This is his third over. And he's been able to get those wickets when he's giving flight to the ball, putting more revs. The very first one, keeping it away from the batter, goes for the reverse shot and has played that well into the gap, and that'll give him masterful 4 runs. Very much premeditated from Rahul Basu, knowing that Usman Rafiq trying that wide line ball turning, this diving effort, but could only reach after the ball meeting the boundary. Coming close to the mark of 100, that's when they'll think at least 40 more runs from here. And last 4 overs, if they're able to achieve that 100 in this over, that's what they'll be looking to target. And has been a bit of tricky track when the spinners are bowling. Not only that, but with Abhimanyu Lamba, he's got 2 overs, and having 2 overs, I do think that he'll be coming to bowl on the next one. Just look at the dust when Karthik takes his guard, just tries to mark his crease, and that's when you're able to see how dry the surface is and why there's a bit of turn on offer for the spinners. End of 16 overs, 93 for 6. And Abhimanyu Lamba, the captain of St. Louis Americans, who will resume his remaining 2 overs. And he'll also be bowling the 19th. It's going to be difficult with the bounce that he's getting off the wicket to hit him. Got to make sure that you, when you're coming to bat against a side like St. Louis Americans, you've got 4 overs, 24 balls that their captain that he'll be bowling, and he's been the name on the bowling leaderboards with 9 wickets with an economy of 4.98. He's been very frugal and effective. It's not the wickets, but it's more about the economy too. When you look at his economy, how good he's been, the dot ball creation, continuing to put the pressure on the opposition batters, and that can only happen with consistency, the line and the length. When you know that the ask is not for the wickets, yes, surely you'd want to pick up the wickets, but it's more about putting the pressure, forcing the batter to falter when he's making the shot. And even when he's been hit for a boundary, the way he's held his temperament has been something to look out for this season from Abhimanyu Lamba. They'll be looking to score at least 140 here. Chicago Tigers. Has he connected that? Has he connected that? No, he hasn't. There's a fielder and will be a catch. And it is Karthik Gattapalli who cannot fire today. Change of pace. And the angle for the left-hander, he just played it. No connection. And the fielder at deep mid-wicket does the job, coming a few steps forward. And it'll be a long walk. 2 runs scored after facing 5. It's been terrific with the bowling. Abhimanyu Lamba, when you break down his bowling in today's game as well, he's picked up a wicket every over that he's bowled, and he's still got 4 more balls remaining in this over, and the 19th over that he'll be coming to bowl, he's got 6 balls that remain, and he is topping that bowling scorecard, the leading wicket taker. He is now the leader with 11 wickets. Best bowling figures, 25 runs after conceding. He took 5 wickets, 62 dot balls that he's bowled with an average of 8.27. And he's got 1 hat trick. And I tell you, in Central Division, no one's got a hat trick. His control has been impeccable. Very perfect with the ball, knowing what he's gonna do. It's not overthinking, taking it ball by ball as a bowler. When you think that you're gonna do this, Yash Patel is the new batter. When you as a bowler, when things flow your way, you're just trying to get that unpredictable ball to the batter, thinking that he'll play a shot and that'll get you a wicket. But with this man on your screen, Abhimanyu Lamba, it's been that his regular bowling and his oh, and a drop, and a drop. Can you believe that from Arya Kananta? Oh dear, you gotta take those just a poke, half measures. He was hesitant, not sure if he would be guiding that to third man, and a spell chance would have got them closer. And this pat to Arya Kananta from Usman Rafiq. Those are the ones you'll want to take, easy ones. When I tell easy and sure, following through. At times, easiest catches are those that you make a mess of. And then the hardest and the difficult catches, you think that that's impossible, that's very hard to guess that someone's going to take. They just stick in your hand. You just put in that extra effort and things happen magically. And a cartwheel, no better side for a bowler. He's got him through the defense. Exceptional. Take that picture, Abhimanyu Lamba, and frame it. Just look at it perform cartwheel. He says he doesn't need support this time, all himself. What a performance here from Abhimanyu Lamba. 4 wickets, one more match. He gets 4 wickets in his name with an over to come. 17 overs done, 96 for 8. It's just too good of a delivery to Yash Patel. Even for any opener, any top order batter, that's just too good. That is a delightful sight for any fast bowler. If you're bowling to just send that uprooting the stump, putting it on the ground. And mind you, these are some heavy wickets from the minor league cricket, and it's not easy for a stump to be uprooted and then making that stump perform a cartwheel. How good of a ball that was from Abhimanyu Lamba, the last one. Before that single was Rahul Basu who was dropped. Then it was Yash Patel who fell prey. 96 for 8, 2 wickets before the Tigers are bowled out, and it is Vineet Sinha. Mohammad Ilyas. This has been one good season for Abhimanyu Lamba for his bowling. He's done something magical, something different every time he's bowled. Mohammad Ilyas yet to get a wicket in this game on his in his account. Too good, too good of a Yorker, and he's done well to negotiate. That's the best that you could do for a ball like that. Survive. Again, targeting that off stump. 98 runs they've scored. We were thinking breaching the 100-run mark in that 15th over. But Abhimanyu Lamba having a different plan for the batters of Chicago Tigers. The one effort from Mohammad Alias that might go unnoticed here is his line and length, that he's kept it tidy today, despite not getting any wickets. There are appeals. Will be given a leg by. I tell you, because his effort going unnoticed is, as bowler, when you're steaming in hard, when you're running and bowling, you think I've been bowling exactly to what I've been asked to do, and there's some issue here that I'm not able to get wickets. But he hasn't overthought on it. He hasn't been overthinking and just doing the right thing, creating that pressure on the batters. It's not about the wickets. Not every time. This is a team sport you're talking about, and not every time you might be able to get the wickets. But at times, it's needed that you hold on from one end. It is the other bowlers that might be able to get the wickets, because the batters at times know that you're bowling, you're in full flow. There's no gray area or anything that they can exploit with you. At times they try to take that pressure off, they try to trade that with the other bowler, and that's where the wickets fall. And then suddenly you pushed into bowling again, and he's doing the same thing, Muhammad Alias. Will be a dot to end. 3 overs that he's bowled, just gave 10 runs off his 3 overs. 18 overs done, 99 on board, a run away from the 100. Vineet Sinha and Rahul Basu trying to stay strong in the middle, but 2 wickets remain for St. Louis Americans to bowl them out. Comes down, charging. There are fielders who are running. Oh, would have been a blinder if he would have completed that catch. Just look at the effort. Sticks, he bowls into the wicket, and then the fielder running, sticking his head high. Not easy, those. Gives his full. You gotta give him extra 1 grade for that effort that he made it. 3 runs taken. Rahul Basu. With that, they reached that 100 mark that we've been talking about. The conversation we had was they reaching 115 overs and thinking upon what can be done. And acrobatics from Abhimanyu, stretching his arm out. Take a look again at that one. Gives us full. Fast bowlers, always a myth that they cannot stretch, they cannot bend. Proving wrong to the myths. Abhimanyu Lamba changed the game of cricket. Was that hand consoling 103 scored. Talk about the myths, how Abhimanyu Lamba stretched his arm. Been a myth about fast bowlers, how they do not bend, usually put on to third man. A bit of lazy effort from the field. I think the game has evolved so much. The fitness aspect has got into game, and it has been a prime factor to be discussed upon. That fitness has to be at your very best to be a part of side for any team at the league stages, international stages. Sky high, a bounce gone to the fielder. Hacks that. Couple of bounces. We need Sinha. And as audience as well, I do think that they want to see Abhimanyu Lamba get that one wicket to have a fifer. Has got all smiles. Very close. His economy too. Very impressive. 22 runs only with a ball pending. I'm sure he's going to do something differently here to Rahul Basu with a final ball, giving his very best. Where is this going? Has he got the distance? Yes, he has. Rahul Basu says, it's me who's going to do differently. Not Abhimanyu. In the slot, half a dozen, right straight forward. Bang on from Rahul Basu. Too full to make him play. And a good connection there to end the over. 111 for 19. The final over. Final 6 balls that remain. And it'll be Mohammad Ilyas who will bowl the final over. Final 6. What's the best the Tigers can do? At least 10 runs scored on the final 6 balls. That'll give them the mental peace. At least having a runner ball. Not happy here. There were some hops and skips. The ball hitting the fielder's ankle. At least you think that when you score 120, it is run a ball. And as a team, if we found it difficult, maybe we're going to create some difficulty, but the margin for error is next to zero. You cannot bowl any extras. If any boundary pressure directly comes on to you as a bowling team, because you haven't got that bandwidth where the batter plays a good stroke and you think that, okay, he's got a good stroke and a boundary out of it, but maybe there's going to be a comeback. There's going to be that mental bog down for you when you've got that exact runner ball on your scoreboard. You need to produce some extraordinary ball to dismiss the batters. Folded nicely, a wide Yorker. 3 balls. First 3 have been a double, dot, and a single, keeping the score to 114 after 8. And Rahul Basu, he's been playing good. A handy knock, 26 runs of 17 balls. Has that capacity to connect. Should be looking for 2 runs here in the final 3 balls. That'll give them exactly 120 if they manage to score 6 runs off 3 balls, but very much capable. When you see the last stroke Rahul Basu making on the bowling of Abhimanyu Lamba, smart between the stumps. Mohammad Alias changing his line. His bowler, we've seen attempts. He was trying to bowl Yorker. Now between the stumps, it's been a solid effort from Mohammad Alias. You cannot take the credit away. He might have been wicketless so far in the game, but his bowling economy has been outstanding. Oh, very close. Very, very close to the stumps. You got a feel for Mohammad Alias here. If you are him, if you are St. Louis American supporters, you've got your hands on your head thinking, how has it missed the stump? Very close. Could have just kissed the stump and gone. But you got to see, and you see the outcome, what is on your screen. Lucky there. 115, 14 runs. He's bowled almost full 4 overs with a ball remaining. 23 balls for Mohammad Ilyas. And still cannot connect it. The final ball. He's been brilliant. Brilliant effort from Mohammad Ilyas. 116 scored. 4 overs bowled with 14 runs only. This is one of the efforts that he might think he might not have got any wicket, but terrific. And outstanding bowling from Abhimanyu Lamba. It's been a good game for St. Louis Americans, restricting the Chicago Tigers at 116, needing 117 to win the game. So far, this has been the story, and we will be joining you shortly after the innings break. Need 5.85 and over. Chicago Tigers, they winning the toss and electing to bat first. Second innings, St. Louis Americans batting coming up. Stay tuned.
Hi, we're Clear. We're making the home loan process easier and more transparent. At Clear.loans, you can learn as you go. Build your own personalized quote, compare options, and instantly see all the costs. No hidden fees, no surprises. Experience it for yourself at Clear.loans.
With insurance plans, one size does not fit all. Your coverage might not be enough, or there might be gaps you didn't know about. At Bima, we build a plan from the best options available for you, for your home, your car, your health, and everything else. At Bima, we believe better insurance means assurance.
Welcome back to innings number two of the game between Chicago Tigers and St. Louis Americans, where the St. Louis Americans need 117 runs to win this game. And it will be Vineet Sinha today who will be opening the bowling attack for the Chicago Tigers. But many runs scored by the Tigers, only 117 needed with the run rate below 6. Should be an easy task, is what the openers might think. Noman Anwar and Arya Kananta. Hanuman, who is nothing short of experience, but has been an ordinary League 2025 minor league cricket for him this season. So far, his scores go as 12, 4, and 9, and the last game scored 15 runs. Strike rate hasn't been a problem for Noman Anwar, but has been the score. Hopefully, today might be able to change something, some figures, some stats in his scoreboard. Most importantly, get that win for St. Louis Americans. Whereas for Arya Kananta, it's 76 runs against Kings 11 Dallas. And then 57 runs against the Kingsmen. Ball number one, straight away gone. Down to third man. And will be opening runs for Noman Anwar and St. Louis Americans. With on offer, usually Vinay Sinha steams in fast. At times we see that when he's been taken on for boundary, he usually misses on his lengths and line. Very explosive, young Arya Kananta has that ability to send the ball back 10, 15 yards behind. Just not that, but that clear timing as well. Right there. There you go. Straight away, we know how he likes and what's his way, what's his style of batting. Ball number one, doesn't matter if it's ball number 15, 16, or ball number one. He'll still go on with the same play. Outstanding here. Some width, allowing Arya to flex and free his arms. Invitation accepted. Well, this is the pair, especially this man on your screen, young gun Arya Kananta. Played over the infield, just chipped away. Fielders running across, has done well, just inches closer to the boundary. Will get 2 runs. When I say about the talent that this league produces, minor league, is really impressive to find a young talent like him, and there are other names as well that have been growing stronger in the league, in the circuit. If you've seen the game against Chicago Kingsmen, Arya Kananta batting, taking on against Zia ul Haq, and the other spinners like Tajinder Singh, Sukhjinder Singh, Ahmad Azam, he came down blazing. Might have to bowl that one again. The positive temperament. You can see that T20 game 8 years, 10 years ago when it initially started, 140, 130 is something the runs anyone would be thinking about. 150 is something the highest end, but now T20, even with England, South Africa as well, 300 runs scored. Game's changing. The game's changing fast. Sharply came back. Seam off the surface. Surprised the batter. Got 8 runs. Has a lot of potential that he accesses different parts of the ground, Arya Kananta. Especially that pickup shot he has. Anything bowled into leg side. Played on the up. Was a teaser to the fielder. Runs and hard. He's got those little opportunities. We need Sanha, where batters unable to connect freely to him. Just need to channel in the area. He needs to target that and just need to keep a bit of patience. Just like that onto the leg side was bowled. Nothing bad about that delivery. It's just a bit too straight coming onto his leg stump, and that's the way he goes. Anything bowled into the wicket on the leg stump, his eyes light up, and onto a flash he gets on just like that. Bang. We'll wait for the official confirmation here. 6 runs.
At US Wide Financial, we know how hard it is to navigate the mortgage process. Don't get lost down the rabbit hole of pressure sales, burdensome paperwork, and hidden fees. US Wide. No surprises, no tricks, no need to call. Check out our rates online at uswidefinancial.com.
Well, who would you go to if not your ace bowler, Karthik Gattepalli, to get the breakthrough? Already a positive start. They are shellacking the bowlers here. It's a good time for Noman Anwar to express himself, to get some good shots out of him because Kananta has already given a start, 16 of the very first over, and the low scoring affair for Noman Anwar can end today with not having many runs on the board, only 116 to equalize and then 117 to win. Also with the batting of Arnav Jam and Adnet Jam to come, younger players on the top order for St. Louis Americans. Goes straight, goes high, goes big. Noman Anwar collects 6 runs off that long on. What a shot, what striking here from Noman Anwar. Simply delightful. Let's take a look here at the replay. Bolden over pitch, looking for the turn. New ball. That's right in the slot. Thank you very much. Noman Anwar says. And the strike rate has never been a question for him. It's about that. Converting your starts. Getting those starts hasn't been a problem for him. Last game, 15 for 15, 12 runs, 4 runs, and 9 runs that he's made. It's just more about that conversion. Another one, another biggie. Back-to-back sixes for Noman Anwar. This time he goes long off. The fielder could just see the ball sailing over the head, clearing his front leg, and at least 5 yards behind the fielder. They're entrusted, St. Louis Americans, to enjoy their weekend. Looks like they're just going to finish it early. Much better there. Pulled his length back quicker. And a new ball bowling, Karthik Gattepalli. Every game that he's got a wicket. Full toss. Could have hit anywhere. He would be disappointed with the opportunity missed. Could work there from the deep. And overall good display of cricket. Good running between the wickets. The throw was good. Any delay in the throw or any hesitation in the run would have costed them a wicket. Off to a flyer. 15 runs scored. 14 runs coming off 4 balls of Karthik. Slashes away. Quick hands. Noman Anwar showing his wide array of shots. What he possesses. Look at it. Just waits for it. Giving himself room deliberately. The whip. He whipped it. More of it. The complete balance. The full flow of arms. Right back to end with a dot. 2 overs done. 34 for no loss of wickets.
Hi, we're Clear. We're making the home loan process easier and more transparent. At Clear.loans, you can learn as you go. Build your own personalized quote, compare options, and instantly see all the costs. No hidden fees, no surprises. Experience it for yourself at Clear.loans.
Power play having 2 fielders outside the circle is something the St. Louis Americans batters would be interested in, to cover the power play, to get as many runs as they can. Already 34. Very contradicting starts. First over, Nityanandam's wicket, but here they are off to boundaries. Just in 2 overs, 34 runs. Aryakananda gives a swing. Batting at 14 of 7. 14 of 6. Very decisive in his batting and doesn't think too much. Just plays along, plays in the present. Couldn't time it. Whereas for Vineet Sinha today, he's one of those experienced bowlers in the side, not having Justin Dill the season. They're lacking Calvin Savage. A lot of responsibility comes on to him. For sure, they've got a good start. 35 runs scored in 2 overs. But you'll have to find a way to get yourself together. Chicago Tigers that stayed low, very low, and Noman Anwar survives that one. This is where Vineet Sinha can prove his worth, the experience that he brings into the squad. It's one quality ball that will be required from him. Gotta be consistent and sticking to your strength. You'll have to be aware that this is power play and these two batters have already freed their arms. So just like that, giving himself room, accessing that extra covers region. And with the expression, you can say that, what wrong have I done? It's the presence of mind and his class that makes it look so easy while he hits the ball through the extra covers region for 4 runs. This young man on your screen is making a name for himself. The season has been quite a memorable one for him. Still having one more game in the league stage for St. Louis Americans to play. Can he clear the fielder and falls to the short covers? That's the very first wicket. There's always risk involved when you're playing that aggressive brand of cricket. Right there in the slot, but cannot clear the fielder at short covers, having no elevation, has hit it firmly, but a little elevation on that shot could have done him good. Arya Kananta goes after scoring 19 runs just in 8 balls. Has done the impact given the start for the team. And the wicket needed for Vineet Sinha and Chicago Tigers is what they've got of Arya Kananta. We'll just take a look if it's Adnat or Arnav Jam who will be taking the crease, replacing Kananta. Was batting at 211. That was his strike rate. And it's Arnav Jam against Chicago Kingsmen. Got a run out. They got a start. A good start given by the opener, Kananta and Noman Anwar, who's still there at the non-striker end. Comes back sharply. Opens his account with 1 run immediately. 3 overs done, 41 for 1.
With insurance plans, one size does not fit all. Your coverage might not be enough, or there might be gaps you didn't know about. At Bima, we build a plan from the best options available for you, for your home, your car, your health, and everything else. At Bima, we believe better insurance means assurance.
Karthik to continue. And this is a double-edged sword because the 4 overs of Karthik Gattipalli are very important to the game, mm, and they're using him right at the very beginning. And I'd say that the call made is because you want wickets, and he has been the bowler who's been very hot in form for the bowling side when Chicago Tigers when they're bowling. Who else would you go when your spinner is able to take the wickets? This is the most when you need him. Umpire says that one's fine for Arnav's charm. The question that comes on with this is who's going to bowl after he's done with his 4 overs, and how are Tigers going to restrict the St. Louis Americans? Right now, I think the only responsibility Arnav has on him is to rotate the strike and give it back to Noman, who's looked good. He surpassed his scores that he's made in the league stage, this being his highest so far. Smartly bowled. Seeing Noman move across, then change his plan, keeping it away from him. Flicked away. Fielder in place. Much better. This is what a wicket gets you. Creates that bump in your run rate. They were going at 17 and over before the fall of wicket from Arya Kananta. And a new man comes in, Arnav Jam. The run rate's gone gone down, and we haven't seen any boundary come in until this ball plays a excellent inside out shot. Just giving himself room, creating that opportunity. Not easy. It's one of those strokes against the spinners that you'd see very often, subcontinent like. 6 runs coming. A ball that remains 3 runs away from their team 50. Played it. Then it is Nityanandam on the first slip. We saw him stretching against Lone Star Athletics to collect that effort. 4 overs done, 47 for 1.
At US Wide Financial, we know how hard it is to navigate the mortgage process. Don't get lost down the rabbit hole of pressure sales, burdensome paperwork, and hidden fees. US Wide. No surprises, no tricks, no need to call. Check out our rates online at uswidefinancial.com.
Puneet Sinha, then his third over. Slaps away, and that's running away to the rope for 4 runs. That's a shot from Noman Anwar. Played it well into the gap. Nice head position, and gets 4 runs. Just for to get to that mark, they'd be thinking, how much can we gather? How much can we amass in this power play? Already 51. It's the fifth over, going at 12.24 an over. Close there, and given. And he's saying that might be going down the leg. Not happy. He's not happy with the decision. Vineet Sinha delighted. This roar from the Tigers. Let's have a look at that one. Pitch is in. The umpire's in a better position to make a call for that one. Sends back, and right away Noman Anwar displeased. He was looking good. Right, struck on his pad. And then take a look at the Arnav Jaham's face. It's like he's surprised too. But a wicket. Both the openers departed after that boundary, and it's Adit Jam who takes strike with Arnav. The boundaries have come in little less after departure of Kananta, and then one more wicket, Noman Anwar, that he's been given out like before. You gotta see how the momentum shifts now. Still got an over and 4 balls that remain before the power play is called. And Vineet Sinha, he'll be very happy with his bowling performance. Rising to the occasion. He's been a little on the expensive side, but he's got 2 wickets. They need wickets to win here, Chicago Tigers. Surely he might have gone for some runs, but at the cost of a wicket coming. That would be a bit of a respite for them. Still 8 wickets in hand, and St. Louis Americans in a commanding position. Can be one of those days for Adnat and Arnav, where that talks about how well they are. Adnat, 12 matches, 136 runs, strike rate of 90 for Adnat Jam. On the pads. Takes a good run. And this is a good testing period for these both batters. Very young, new to the squad for St. Louis Americans. And when you got to test them, you got to test them with fire because look at the run rate they were going at, and run rate sliding down to 10.97 from 17. The very first bump was Kananta's wicket, then later Vineet Senna taking Noman Anwar. Discomforted. That should be hurting him.
Hi, we're Clear. We're making the home loan process easier and more transparent. At Clear.loans, you can learn as you go. Build your own personalized quote, compare options, and instantly see all the costs. No hidden fees, no surprises. Experience it for yourself at Clear.loans.
One more over to go. Surely there's some message here from the dugout while we see anyone coming onto the field with any fruits or refreshment just to energize or hydration. There's always a message that is sent from the captain or the coach. And say that it is a testing period with the talent they have on hand with Adnat and Arnav. It's about the start they got, and are they able to solidify the start? Because this is a brilliant start for the St. Louis Americans when they are where they are at. Down the ground, and one bounce off the rope, and he collects 6 runs. Surely it did seem like it bounced ahead of the rope, but solid timing. Shot full of vigor. He gets that good connection. 5 balls before the power play, and Karthik's third over. He's been wicketless every match that he's played in the Central Division of Minor League Cricket 2025. He's got a wicket, one wicket at least, and this is the expensive we've seen him so far. "58 runs needed make that 57 with that one. Bit of hesitation from Adnan while he bats, whereas Arnav spent some time on the wicket, clipped away. Trying to find that gap, and he is successful this time. Penetrates through the gap on the offside, just dabbing it. And they've got two boundaries in this over. A ball to go. Still going strong at almost reaching the mark of 11 runs and over. A straight. The first run's taken hard. Don't bother running. Don't bother running. That is textbook. Just the batter. And what is perfect here is the timing on the shot. Take a look. Just strokes it gently. A firm push. But in fact, very soothing. Not overhitting the ball. And gets 4 runs straight off the wicket. End of 6 overs. 68 for 2. And it looks like Satvik Kailash will be getting his chance to roll the arm. Who's come in for Justin Dill today. He's brought in at a time where the batters are hammering. And he'll remember if he's able to get the wicket, put some pressure on Satvik Kailash. And batters would be looking to take a chance on him to put some pressure to distort his line length and not allow him settle. Smooth action from Satvik Kailash that doesn't stop the batters to take one. A finger spinner. Very smooth, bowls in, or that hip coming forward. Captain's given him a slip. Pressing forward in defense. Shown promise on the 2 balls is bowled. But exactly inviting the batter forward. Very first match, his debut. Played across. And that's poor. That's poor. Effort from the fielders in the deep. That'll result in a boundary. Not the best of the timings on that shot. Just whipping away. Almost got there. Should have stopped. Shouldn't have been a boundary. But will result with the four. This has been the beauty of the league. It's been a tremendous achievement as minor league cricket, I would say, because the talent that's been coming through, they're able to find players irrespective of the age. Recently, a news breaking out that how it's been a platform, Major League Cricket, people transitioning from minor league to Major League and then displaying their skill set on the global stage, allowing them to get that platform, get that limelight on them. 7 overs done, 74 for 2. 7 overs and it'll be drinks. We will join you momentarily. We're back after a short drinks break, and the discussions will be on utilizing the bowler Chirag Gandhi, giving it to Yash Patel. Let's get back to the conversation that we were having before the over and the drinks break being called. Major League Cricket being the platform and how the players have been able to make a pathway of minor league cricket. This year we've seen Stephen Wigg has been sensational with his bowling, get a chance in Major League Cricket and being able to display the skill set, and Major League being one of those global stages where you could dream of as a player that skipped by the keeper. Just wait for the confirmation from the umpire here. And a couple of days ago, called as a wide, will be extra runs without a ball being bowled. Shubham Ranjane being selected by Joburg Super Kings for the South Africa Betterweight T20. He's been a major part in the minor league cricket, was a part of Texas Super Kings. This is what the opportunity does, one leading to another. It's more about how seriously the players have taken minor league cricket, and then quality innings, quality matches all across the US between these teams. You always want to have the A game. Much better. Pulling the length back, not giving any space, cramping for room. Haven't got a boundary yet. It's 4 runs coming off 4 balls. That a good effort from Yash Patel. Stop that one. Final ball of this over. Let's see if he'll be able to stop the batters of getting any boundary. 9.96. And that'll be the over. Ends with a dot. A good over for Yash Patel and Chicago Tigers. A2 was done 78 for 2. 39 runs needed. Satvik Kailash to continue. That's drilled down. Long off. Well collected. Especially when you're young, you're getting to play. Justin Dill, who's plays for Washington Freedom, is now part of the setup in Chicago Tigers. Calvin Savage, Texas Super Kings. This is a good environment where the players get that exposure as well when they're playing with the experienced players, especially when look at Satvik Kailash, how young he is, getting an opportunity at this stage. Just not only grooms you at the right stage for the right moment, but also gives you the overview of what you're expecting, what the expectations can be, and in a high octane game like such as minor league cricket, there's always a high expectation from you, and it's done so far, except for that one boundary that was misfielded. You take those 4 runs off. He's just given 4 runs of 9 balls so far that he's bowled. And not afraid to give the flight on the ball. He's just looping the ball, showing the batter and asking if they can step out on him. bowling to his strengths. Just not trying to impress on the very first game, but knowing that what he's able to do here is just control that. And so far, excellent control from Kailash. Struggling to find the rhythm. 4 runs only. Just trying to pull off. Just trying to push St. Louis Americans, achieving that total. Very well bowled. Quicker, right on the pads, bowling to his field. That'll be the end of ninth over. 83 after 9, 2 wickets down.
With insurance plans, one size does not fit all. Your coverage might not be enough, or there might be gaps you didn't know about. At Bima, we build a plan from the best options available for your home, your car, your health, and everything else. At Bima, we believe better insurance means assurance.
Very relaxed side. Now, St. Louis Americans. Munir Ahmed not playing today. Part of the team. He's got his glares on. Got a stump in hand. Very relaxed as a unit. St. Louis Americans. He's onto it on a flash, but will only get a run there. An excellent throw, but will be overly done, giving them 2 runs. "34 runs needed." And you gotta give credit to Rahul Basu for putting on those extra additional runs while he was batting. Just didn't give up. Rahul Basu cleared a knock of 26 runs in 19 balls. Despite the situation being sticky for them. Tight bowling from the spinners, Satvik Kailash and Yash Patel. You haven't seen any boundaries come off so far in the last 2 overs. And when I say this is something the team St. Louis Americans will see what they're able to do, because this passage of play in the middle overs is crucial as players, and the eyes will be on them. Arnav Jam and Adnit Jam. Good stop right there at the boundary. Looks like it was Vineet Sinha. Moves away. And one hand stop. Because you're sending in these young players at 1 and 2, there's a lot of reliance on them from St. Louis Americans for them to test. This is the game where the openers gave the start, and boundaries, singles have been coming smoothly, whereas the challenge has been for boundaries. They manipulating the field. 10 overs done, 88 for 2. and his signal for change of gloves, and I also guess it's going to be short drinks break. So far, story from the second innings, halfway across, is that Noman Anwar and Arya Kananta gave a rollicking start for the St. Louis Americans, and then wickets falling, two wickets. Arnav and Adnit from the other side trying to hold on to the wickets, get St. Louis Americans home. So far, it's been batting dominance from St. Louis Americans. Rahul Basu. 29 runs needed of 10 overs. That impactful start from the openers will make a difference. Looks like there's someone passing from that side screen. Batter and the ball is not ready. Playing that late. It's gonna be risky while he tries to take that ball. Playing that late is always a risk that the ball gets onto the stump. Adnat Jam. And a misfield. That will go to the boundary. Much needed boundary for the St. Louis Americans, and Adnit Jam, while he was dealing with singles right away, that uneven bounce just took by surprise. 25 needed. Signs of aggression from Adnit, trying to put the pressure onto the bowler. Right there, back at him, dropped. Will go down as a drop chance. So it's become easy for St. Louis American team after getting that solid start, solid partnership that was built by Noman Anwar and Arya Kananta. Was a bit question that we were, because having a different angle, it question again the decision, the leg before. Umpire very much confident. Different angles make it look very different, and I think surely umpire having a better view of it. That's skipped away by the keeper. The batter could not read it too. Will be leg by. Needing 22 runs. That's way wide. That was there to be punished. Will get 4 runs. That is a horrible delivery from Rahul Basu, where he's been so good He knew it immediately, and having no fielder there, that is a very bad ball. End of 11 overs, 99 for 2. 18 runs needed. In the gap, gets one. And that brings up 100 for St. Louis Americans. A young team, Chicago Tigers, especially when you look at the veterans today playing the game in Chicago Tigers. Chirag Gandhi, who's been there with the team. Vineet Sinha in fast bowling. They haven't got much fast bowling options today, except for Vineet Sinha. They've gone to. It's been all spinners game, and especially when you look up to Karthik and his experience, and call him right early stage of the game. He's put that in the gap, and that'll run away. Half tracker and in slot immediately jumping back to dispatch that ball to the boundary. 12 runs needed. Just two big hits away. Look, dropped shot. It's marginal. And Yash Patel has got the height and climbs onto that one. Jam sends it for a boundary. Isn't that shot while you expected? It's marginally short. And Yash is a tall man. And he gets that extra bit of bounce off the wicket, allowing the batter to play it freely into the deep mid wicket region. Another boundary will be a solid boundary here, and back to back after a dot. Let's take a look at the replay where a sweep, smart, knowing where the fielders are set up, knowing where the field is, you can make your shots look so easy. Great effort there. Great effort there in the deep to not let the ball pass. 11 coming off that over. 7 runs needed. 12 overs down, 110 for 2. And the ball will be given to Khyber Khan Muhammad of 7 runs needed. Starts with a slow one. Right in the wickets. Good running between the wickets. Gets 2 runs. That makes 5 required. He's pulling on with the jersey of Calvin Savage. Khyber Muhammad. Medium bowler, 5 required. Adnajam batting on 39 of 33 balls. Right back at him. 3 balls bowled, 3 remaining. Then this over. Only 5 runs that will be needed for the St. Louis Americans to register their second win of the season. The first one coming against Kings 11 Dallas that they've won in DL method, winning by 15 runs. Two balls. Will it be a boundary? He's played that over the head and looks like it will be the game. And that is a shot. A sweet victory that'll be coming with a glorious shot. A nice pull right in front of the face of the bowler and ends it in style. This has been a prolific batting performance and overall performance by St. Louis Americans while they win this game by 8 wickets, dominating, and they've crushed Chicago Tigers. What a game this has been. Firstly, the bowling performance of the captain, Abhimanyu Lamba, picking up 4 wickets. It was the contribution alongside with Saif Badr, Usman Rafiq, and the partnership that was stitched, impactful between Arya Kananta and Noman Anwar. Then later on, Arnav Jam and Adnat Jam taking on with 40 runs and 29 runs. It's been a comprehensive performance and a win for St. Louis Americans today, with conceding 6 extras in their bowling. Chicago Tigers. This is it, and we will join you soon tomorrow. This is the game. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye. Take care.